Hey my Shuga Bears, welcome back to my channel, Bougie AF. It's your host, OGJackeeNicole. It's where I say stay bougie on them. It's me feeding you feminism for the soul. It's my soul food offering. It's where I apply pressure to issues by being critical and logical. Now don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get to the commentary where I can guarantee you I will be doing too much because that's just me. And like Sheree said, who's gonna check me, boo?
Hey, my Shuga Bears, we are back. So listen, there's a lot going on. So most definitely, if this is your first time here, I think I'm getting some views. They're going up slowly, but it's surely, and it's going to happen because I'm not going to stop. I won't stop. I'm going to make it. All right, y'all. So listen, there's so much going on that it's so crazy, from the verses with my top 5, Jadakiss and Dipset, and I'm sorry, with the Logs versus Dipset. Yeah, there's a lot to now. Jim Jones, Savage 21, Whack 100. And I don't usually talk, I'm not going to talk a lot of street stuff on my channel. That's not what I do. It just is what it is. And it's just not what I do. But this is interesting because I think where we talk a lot about messaging and who has voices in our community and the people that people listen to, I think it is interesting to talk about everything that's going on currently with like Tekashi 69, Jim Jones, and Whack 100, and with the conversation being about snitching. That's the bigger conversation we're going to have. So granted, this is a little different because it is street stuff, but there is an ideology around snitch culture, which is involved the hip hop culture. Also, that a lot of children, a lot of people are influenced by, even adults who aren't in the street are influenced by a lot of the street ideology, street rules, and all that other stuff. So that's why this is a conversation, right? Because we have to be like, gotta be 100. I also look at people who snitch on their friends or, stuff like that. I look at them side-eyed too. So I'm not above approach in that way, or above, how some people may feel when it comes to snitch culture. So that's why I really wanted to go here. But let's go here because, like I said, it's a lot. I also had the honor of being in some of the rooms on Clubhouse when a lot of the back and forth was going. I was in one particular room with 21 Savage, Whack 100, and a whole bunch of weird ass females up there. I don't even understand what that's about. Like when the females are just sitting up there and men are arguing, it's just like, and then it's and it is so weird because you can tell like these are the like pick me bitches, or the groupie type of bitches, or the bitches who really do get chosen or looked at, right, when they be out in the club. But the men would argue and say all types of, be really heated, and then all of a sudden here comes a female. Oh, I'm hungry. What niggas eating for breakfast? And I mean, she's talking just like that, not in her full throat. Not, you ever just want to hit a bitch in her throat? Like, bitch, talk in your full throat. Stop sitting on this fucking Clubhouse talking to these niggas like that, like a sex line type of shit. The shit be hilarious, y'all. But, that's my thoughts when I be sitting down there and I be laughing. Because it'd be like, they be like, yeah, I think I want some avocado toast. Yeah, I just don't feel like driving in LA. And so I don't know if it's like, are you trying to get somebody to offer? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird as shit. But anyway, so let's get on here. So, all right. So this is my save folder on Instagram. So this is Whack 100 says he's going to put 21 Savage to sleep when he sees him. Okay. Now, this started because 21 Savage said something about, 21 Savage felt some sort of way about Whack 100 doing an interview with Tekashi 69. I guess it was a podcast. If you don't know, Tekashi 69 was a part of the, what they call themselves? Trey Nines or whatever, which is a sector of the, a sector. It's so complicated. It's a subsection of the Blood Gang, right? That is out of Brooklyn, New York, I think it is. And so Tekashi was a part of them. And what ended up happening, Tekashi claims that his crew, which was the 6ix9ine Blood gang members, that they attempted to kill him, right? That in turn made Tekashi 69 want snitch on them, which now Tekashi 69 and Jim Jones, we can't leave that out because that's extremely important. We're talking about a crew, and we're talking about a gang that of like probably 5 or 6 people went, 7 people may have went down easily with everything that happened and Tekashi turning on the game. And Jim Jones. So it's Tekashi and Jim Jones are the lone two. It's the last two. They're the last two remaining, Jim Jones and Tekashi 69, and that's pretty interesting. Whereas the two people, and one of them is thought to be the one who snitched on the entire crew that took them down, and that's Tekashi 69. So he did a little bit of time. He got out. He's living his life, trying to get back to business as usual. Now, a lot of people in the hip hop community don't appreciate him snitching, so they don't think that, because just like me, I have my own ideology and views when it comes to snitching, right? I'm more of the traditional way of looking at it when it comes to snitching. If it's you and your homegirl and y'all talking and she sharing like you sharing and you somehow putting her business and you telling on her on some shit that ain't got nothing to do with you, yep, that's snitching. You are a tattleteller. You talk too fucking much. You doing way too much, because it can go both ways, right? If you do a crime with somebody, right, and y'all rob a bank and, you know what I mean, and y'all think y'all both get away, but one of y'all get caught or whatever, and you tell on the other person, then yes, you are snitching. You and your associates have a person that you guys mutually want to take out of here. I'm not advocating for crime and violence any type of way. You want to get rid of this person. Y'all slide on that person. All 4 of y'all in the car, y'all do, a drive-by, right? If one of you or even 2 of you snitch on what happened and tell people's name, you are snitching. That's my definition of snitching, right? When 2 people are doing the same thing, but you put yourself in a better position to look better or not to experience any jail time. So the one I told you, if you're telling your friend something and she's telling you something, but y'all are doing the same type of conversation on the phone and she go tell, almost definitely that's snitching. And what I told you about, if you do a crime together, that's snitch, and you snitch on your partner, that's snitching. Outside of me seeing something happen or me talking about it, don't nobody owe you that. So no, not regular civilians cannot just snitch on somebody. They're not a part of the situation. If you're not a part of it, that's not snitching. Okay, all right, so because of the podcast interview Whack 100 did with Tekashi 69, who is to believe the only snitch. Now I'm being funny when I say the only snitch of the Trey 9 Bloods. I guess 21 Savage felt some sort of way with it because the street code is you don't deal with a rat. You don't fuck with a rat at all. Once they turn on their peoples like that they are not to be trusted, they can't be in nobody's crew. You get what I'm saying? And if you look back to like Nipsey Hussle, and the dude who ended up killing Nipsey Hussle, that literally was about the fact that Nipsey did not want to associate with a rat. Nigga was known in the street allegedly for being a rat. And so when he rolled up on Nipsey, he just was not trying to hear that. Like, I'm good. Do you get what I'm saying? And so that's how deep it is. And that's literally how niggas in the street usually look at it and they move that way. So when you talking about the hip hop streets, well, I guess, niggas like my son and Whack 100 are trying to rewrite the rules on when is it acceptable to deal with a snitch, right? So I've heard a lot of excuses about that. Whack 100 is like, oh, he's a civilian. He was never really a gang member. That's on them. They were trying to get money off that kid. They knew he wasn't built like that. That's their fault. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, all of this stuff. And that if it was my crew, it wouldn't be, he would be considered a snitch, but that's just how we do things here. I can't tell other people how to run there. So it's a lot of moving the goalposts and all the other shit, but 21 Savage is not from the Moving the Goalposts University or the hip hop street. He's from the street. So for him, he's like, no, that what are you talking about? That's snitching. And on top of that, even if you don't think that Tekashi 69 snitched on old boys and them, why would you associate with somebody who has the potential cause all that type of trauma, start fights with people, but then at the same time, the feds are probably his security? That don't make no sense to be associated with somebody who will act like they really with something, but then when time comes, they'll play it off as though they're not, and they'll turn on you. Nah. I don't think nobody can trust him at that point. I will say, as we go further and we take a look at some more things, my attitude could change towards the end of this video about Tekashi 69. All right, so Child 69 in the background pumping it up. All right, so we're gonna listen to this real quick. Hold on. Ooh, that's a good one.
We always been solid. I'm gonna keep it real.
Nah, you just said a whole bunch of extra shit.
Hey,
so that ain't
we
solid.
are not the same. Look, 21.
I don't know. I guess
21. Listen to me now,
nine friends now.
Listen to me.
Put on
Listen to me, bro.
But I ain't
met you before. You've been real humble. Me and you both know. If you was standing in front of me right now, you wouldn't have that energy.
Yeah, right. Nigga, that's on my head. All right, check this out.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I will. Yo, and I'm gonna hit you when I get to LA. That's on my mama.
Hey, check this out.
I'm gonna put the bed on my mama.
He's never coming to LA.
Nigga, I'm gonna put that 1%. Nephew, I know you. We always been solid. And I'm gonna keep it real.
Nah, you just said, I hope.
All right, so yeah, so that was on Clubhouse. So I didn't hear that one, but I guess like when I hopped on Clubhouse, they were actually in a room again together, and it seems as though they had squashed the shit, like everything was cool, right? So I'm like, niggas don't really squash shit like that, like. I kept on thinking in my head, like, and at the time, Savage 21, he's like in the room, but he's not talking. So I know this vibe. Like, I just know this vibe. Like, oh, okay, nigga. All right, we good. Yeah, all right. Shit's good. You know what I mean? I just felt like it wasn't real. I mean, it just, yeah, all right, for the sake of conversation, because like if we're gonna get to them things, we don't need to be talking. That's what I felt like the vibe was like from, you know. And so I was thinking in my head, I was like, ooh, girl, I think you're reading too much into it. That's what I thought in my head, right? So, so they just kept on talking, and then again, Savage is in the room, but he's not talking, right? He's just, you know, sitting on mute and just letting the room talk. You know, stuff like that, and the room is moving, and then all of a sudden, this dude comes on. Dude comes in the room, comes up on the stage. Now, I gotta set the scene. If you've been on Clubhouse, I think in that room, there was only like 2 moderators, right? 2 or 3 moderators. Savage and 2 other people were moderators, I believe. And so dude comes up. Now, in this type of room, they really, like, they don't let just anybody up. And, they just don't let anybody up, right? They'll let people who, like, they kind of know, the groupie girls who hang around. You get what I'm saying? They'll let people up like that, right? I would have a hard time going up there because, you know, I'm not trying to suck no dick, right? All right, so because I'm going there, I want to be part of the conversation. I want to know. I got questions. You know what I'm saying? So, all of a sudden, this dude gets up there, and the dude is talking cash shit. Like, cash fly shit. Nigga, I don't respect you. Nigga, fuck you. You ain't no motherfucker. Oh, hell, fuck. It was like that. It was like... Nigga, I ain't gonna sit around and make you think everything all right. Fuck you, nigga. And when I see you, like that type of talk. This is what this young man is saying to Whack 100. And Whack's like, oh, okay, well, what the fuck? Who are you? Like, you just gonna come up with that type of energy? Like, you coming up here like, oh, nigga's like, you ain't no elder. You ain't no gangster, nigga. You sitting up here with this bullshit. I can't even sit around you and play with you like that. This is what the brother's saying. Like, then his voice was just like that, yo. So, you know me. I go to the profile and start looking around my damn self like, who this nigga? Because, again, I've been around Clubhouse. I've been in groups before. Don't shit be by coincidence. Don't shit be out of the blue. Don't nobody just stop fucking with somebody out of the blue, right? So I'm not someone that you're going to tell me that just happens, right? It does one-offs, but situations like this, no. No. When someone is just like full-blown going at somebody, no. So whatever, Whack and him go back and forth, and Whack was like, well, I'm gonna see you, so where you at? Like, you know, give me the, like, he want to see the nigga, right? Whoop-de-whoop, back and forth, then all of a sudden, 21 Savage hops on, and he's like, oh, that's my brother, that's my bro. And then the brother was like, nigga, I don't even know why you in here letting this nigga, sitting around this nigga. You know what it is. We ain't for that shit. And like, all that. I ain't gonna sit around and make that nigga think everything good. Everything ain't good. Like, this is how the brother's talking. And I'm like, damn, I had already tweeted, like, something don't seem right. They sent this nigga in here. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga is a part of the situation. Like, you know that one nigga who's not gonna let you do, like, this play coy? That one nigga who's just like, I ain't with the funny shit. It's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not even gonna play around with it. That was this nigga. So when he came in with that energy, I was like, ooh, something don't seem right. Either they asked him to come in here to do that, or he with them. Like, that's the only thing that had made sense. So I tweeted, was like, somebody must have made him come in here and do this, right? And then that's when 21 Savage came in and was just like, oh, that's my brother. Blah, 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 blah. And then Wack was like, so what's up with him? He was like, I know that's your brother, but the way that man has gotten at me as at another man, what's up? He ain't gonna get a pass for speaking to me like that. Of course, they started arguing more, blah, 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 blah. 21 Savage tries to tell his brother, cool, it's cool, nah, let it die down, it's over, whatever. And the brother still wasn't here, nah, nigga. We don't move like that. I don't respect it. All that type of shit. That's what the brother was saying. They from Georgia and shit. So, the brother wasn't feeling it. But my whole thing, if it was really cool and whatever, your brother would have known that before he got up on there and did all of that. Because that was fucking a lot, right? So, this stems from Tekashi 69 being the snitch that he is, or is he? And, him and the Jim Jones being the last two surviving members of the Trey 9 Blood Gang. When you see them, make sure you pay homage. They're about to go extinct, right? They are the last two remaining, right? They should be in a museum. And you ask yourself, how do you become the last two? So we know how Tekashi did it. Tekashi felt like his life was in danger and that he, had to do what he had to do. These niggas were trying to rob him. Y'all know allegedly there was some driver or some situation that happened where somebody from the Trey 9 gang robbed Tekashi, right? Supposedly, allegedly. And so he was really feeling like, niggas was on his back about to do something to him. But anyway, so I guess that situation happened. I remember it like the back of my neck because I remember talking about it on my other show. So, right after that happened, I think the Fed starts to get in touch with, he says it. The Feds reach out to him and they start to tell him how his life is in danger by his own gang, right? They then are playing him recordings of things that they heard on, the wiretaps of the gang members plotting to execute him, right? Trying to kill him, right? Supposedly, I guess the thought was that they were mad at Tekashi because Tekashi was thinking about leaving or not working with. It was some bogus ass shit on why they were mad at Tekashi, right? So on these wiretaps, y'all, right? Jim Jones is on those wiretaps. Jim Jones is on those wiretaps, and you hear him talking to a guy and a gentleman. And let's be clear. All of this is on the internet, and that's another thing that we have to talk about, because there's no anonymity, there's no talking about something. Like, the United States government has released this information for people to know about it, so there's no secret around this. Hold on 1 second. Oh, look, first thing up. So that's how much people are searching this, because it's that big of a conversation right now. Because I think people are putting two and two together. And so we're going to go to this person. That one is 3. So this is the full wiretap audio of Jim Jones wanting to violate 69. This is Gabbard TX. Shot him out or her out.
Jabot here, and today we have a new video. Now, as I'm sure you guys have been keeping up with 6ix9ine's trial and what's been going on for the past few days. We know that during court, a lot of stuff has been shown and has been said by 6ix9ine, and one of the things that has been happening is he even mentioned Trippie Redd a few days ago, and also a part of that, we know that audio was played of him in court. It has been leaked all over social media. We also have real footage of him being kidnapped, and a part of that, we also do have other mentions that he has said in court court, he said something about Chief Keef, etc., etc. And, you know, he's just pretty much telling on anybody at this point. There has been memes all over social media of people just clowning the hell out of 6ix9ine, of him snitching back and forth on pretty much anybody. So if you did something with 6ix9ine, he is definitely going to tell it in court. But anyways, one thing right now that's going on is audio has leaked of a wiretap between Jim Jones and Mel Murda, which is the Godfather. And pretty much right here in this audio, we know that a few months ago we did have a transcript of what was being said, and right here we now have audio of Jim Jones saying that they need to super violate 6ix9ine because he's not a gang member, he's not really with it. And it's crazy to see that this entire time their phones were tapped and they didn't even know about it. That's crazy how much, you know, the FBI was already on this. So that's one reason why 6ix9ine went on the Breakfast Club saying, you know, I'm scared of the FBI, right? Because he already knew that things were going to go down. And it's just crazy, man. So if you're not really about this lifestyle and you think that you're about it, it's just no good for you to be in this type of environment, because things are definitely going to be some hard consequences at the end. You know, we have 6ix9ine, and who knows how things are going to unfold, because he is eventually going to get out of jail. They're saying as early as 2020. So we'll see what happens. But right here we have audio of the wiretap of Jim Jones and Mel Murda talking about super violating 6ix9ine.
He definitely humiliating Shawty right now.
Oh, we got the picture up here next to the post. Like, when you go to YouTube and World Star, you got his picture next to the shit. And everything he say, you got a split screen with Shawty picture next to the shit. I said, this shit crazy, son. But he's doing that to make K9 think he don't got no relationship with Boy. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to supplement this show.
That's cool, but now you gotta get violated.
Yeah, super violated. Super duper. So ain't too much he can really do unless he gonna go run around with 100 armed securities all day. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get shot at pay.
He ain't getting enough money for that.
That's a fact. And he just canceled all his shows.
He ain't a gang member no more.
Nah, ain't nothing.
That's what Shawty needs to make sure he do.
Nah,
Tell that nigga that he's not a gang member no more. He kicked out the whip. He was never a gang member. Then Shawty need to expose him.
Nah, never to do. You got to TMZ. TMZ want to talk to niggas on Monday. So Shawty like, you want me? Crippy. I think he said.
You don't need to be on no TMZ. Let Shawty be on TMZ.
I'm not gonna get on him, but he wanted me to talk to nigga and tell nigga what happened. Like, cause you know, my lap first. You feel me? So he want.
You don't say nothing. You let Shawty handle that shit, bro. You don't say nothing.
So don't say nothing.
Nah, Shawty gotta handle that shit. He get on TMZ. He need to talk his talk and he talk his shit. You dig?
Mm-hmm.
And he need to be very, very, very articulate about what he's saying, why he made people think that nigga was a gang member. He need to let niggas know that he was never a gang member.
I'm going to butt in here for a little bit because I want to make sure that it's clear that we are 100% clear on why. So this is actually before the trial. This is before everyone went to jail. And this is even before Tekashi got out. I think he did have to plead guilty and do a little bit of time for whatever. But he's fully out right now. Now, I'm jumping in right here because you need to pay attention to the dynamics of the conversation that you're listening to. You have, I think his name is Melly Mel or something like that. Who is actually, I guess they said, like a godfather, right? And then you have Jim Jones, who was just on our Versus screen, telling us how he's a gang member. So you have these two members, which really sounds like, at this point, you're talking to the godfather or the head of something. So you're pretty high ranking. That shows that you have reach, which, you know, you're a celebrity and you're also part of a gang. So most definitely, that you have reach and access to the high person. The dynamics of what you're listening to seems as though this Godfather character is calling and speaking to Jim Jones and getting advice or getting they're consulting. It seems like they are consulting. They're running a business or empire, whatever. They are consulting with each other on how to handle the Tekashi 69 and the snitching and all this other stuff that is going on regarding, you know, Tekashi working with the feds at the time. you hear Jim Jones talk about how, Tekashi has to get violated. There's longer portions of the conversation where I guess he tells him how to do it. He is strategically telling him how to let me let y'all listen to a little bit more, and then I'll come back.
He was always a money play for the gang members. He got to figure it out, but they gonna have to violate Shorty, because Shorty on some bullshit. Shorty think he gonna be going to the strip clubs and all that type of shit. Like, Shorty better get on his A game.
Shorty, I already know, Shorty, you not living in a demon, homie. You not living for shit like this, homie. He gonna treat that nigga like he was blowing Chinese shit up. He gonna be around with that nigga shit up. He don't got nothing to lose no more. This is all he had.
He better get to violating. He better stalk Shorty every move. One of them security better get hit. Something better happen.
He better start balling, nigga.
He better start doing something. Once he start tearing the security down, ain't no security gonna want that job. He gonna have to stay in the house pretty soon. That's it. That's what happens. Once security get injured, them niggas like, nah, he's too much of a liability. I'm not gonna protect nobody that I know that is causing harm to us. And that's all these niggas gotta say. Well, Shotty, let niggas know, man, bro, we gonna tear the security up, bro. We not even worried about you, bro. You ain't even, we gonna tear the security up. Once niggas start doing that, the security gonna be like, listen, bro, I ain't in it for this, bro. You gonna have to do this shit on your own time, bro.
You can't, the security out in New York can't run around with fire on them, right?
Nah, them niggas, unless they ex-police, but it don't matter at that time because they doing an illegal job. Dig? It don't matter. Because the shot ain't run down on them, they can't pull their gun out to shoot nobody. Unless the gun is pulled.
Things are about to get more crazier. 6ix9ine is going to do whatever it takes to get home as quick as possible. And like I said, all over social media, people...
All right, so you see that Jim Jones is giving instructions on how to do it. Most definitely conspiracy. Now, we're all confused by this, and this is what the big conversation has went from WAC 100 to now it being focused on Jim Jones and what Tekashi is saying, because Tekashi doesn't let shit go, and he most definitely he has no chill, y'all. Tekashi has no chill. So, but what I do want to now play you. What's his name? So there was a part on, let me see. Tekashi. What we want, so then Tekashi got on to Clubhouse, and in the Clubhouse room, like the room that I played for you guys a little while ago, he started talking with, of course, the conversations about the snitching and people being associated with him, but he starts talking about Jim Jones and saying how Jim Jones is also a snitch, right? And he implies, this is what he implies, right? Hold on 1 second.
So, you want to get hired before summer ends? The hottest tech companies are desperate to hire.
Y'all saying that snitching is reasonable under certain circumstances?
Nah. Okay. Y'all ain't
Okay.
What we're saying is everybody got something to say, but ain't nobody doing nothing about it.
Ain't nobody doing. People failing to realize he did what he was supposed to do. He a civilian.
But see, here's the thing. Like, I'm on the fence about everything. But here's the thing. Like, the point is.
Now, I will say this. Talking about Tekashi 69 being a civilian, I won't say that, right? I think when you acknowledge that you are running with the gang, you went after the gang for the association because you needed the protection to elevate your career, I don't think you get to sit back and say, oh, I'm just a regular citizen, because, regular citizens don't hang out with gang members. I promise you, we don't. Where the gang members at? I don't want to go there. That's how we are as regular citizens. You ran towards that shit. Now, are you an official G where they should have, treated you and brought you around and did all that shit around you and did all that shit for you in the name of the gang? No, most definitely. You weren't that nigga that they should have been treating like you were a gangster. I get that, but you are not a citizen. Like, you're not a regular pedestrian. Mm-mm.
You can't really pick and choose codes. You know what I mean?
Like, ain't no code for civilians.
Right. So, what do he think he is civilian though? Do Tekashi think he is civilian?
No, I don't. I believe in his mind he think he gangster because he was taking care of the whole team. But I have to point out to him, when it comes to that overall stamp, right? You was taking care of the team because that's what you felt you was obligated to do, right? The position they put him in.
Wait. Let me get this off. Jim. Yo, Wack. Let me just get this off my shoulders, right? Let me just get this off my shoulders to show you what type I am and why it's still early. Let me get this off my shoulders. Jim Jones, right? He ran with the same I ran with a decade before I met him. Jim Jones, the Dipset, the that was just over there dancing on verses. Jim Jones was running with Shotty, Cafano Jordan, right? Mel Matrix, Jamel Jones, Roll Murder, Roland Martin. He was running Fu Banger, Fuquan. I forgot his last name, Fuquan something. He was running with all of the cats I ran with and got his daddy fooled. You know what Jim Jones did? That nigga did not take care of none of them. Because when I ran to them, Shotty was sleeping on the road. Madison between Tompkins and Troop. Mel Murder was on Gates and Marcus Garvey with his baby mother. Roland Martin was just doing 9 years. He blew trial. That made them. That take care of him. From Shotty was sleeping on the rug. That dropping a 6'3" Benz in 6 months, living in a condo, doing meetings with Kanye. Kanye was taking him to Yeezy meetings, board meetings. Matrix had his own, everything on his own. His kids was eating. Roland Martin came home to a new AP, watch, money, cars, everything. That Jim Jones did not take care of none of his. I took care of him. And on top of that, Jim Jones was caught on wiretap telling Jamel, look, Jim Jones was caught on wiretap. Jim Jones was caught on wiretap on my case, he was telling the big homie Mel Matrix, Jamel Jones, to go and get rid of my security. How you do it? How you shoot at them? They don't got no license to carry weapons, don't nothing in New York. How is that free right now?
Oh.
Pull up the wiretap of conspiracy attempted to commit murder. Why is that not in jail? You tell me. Why you think he don't mention my name? I know you.
Sheesh. You ain't got it. It's too early.
I still got two federal.
Yo, put it like this. If I was on a wiretap saying, we gonna kill us, bro. Yeah, now that's a fact. Look, trust me, the back door to his crib be open all of the time. All you gotta do is push the latch, hit it with the little knife, hit the thing, swipe it up, and push the door in. That's all you gotta do. Then we all go down, and you don't go down.
You heard that tape yourself?
Not in the room. No, the tape's on the internet.
Yeah, that's public info.
That's not the internet.
But he's not here to defend himself.
Yo, if you think I'm lying, pull it up on YouTube right now and let it play on Clubhouse.
6ix9ine.
It don't matter. Go on YouTube. It's coming out.
Wait. That right there, you're my. Look, you a weirdo, man, because that's on the internet.
I'm stopping it here because I do have to say Whack 100 knows what the fuck he's doing. So there's a gentleman in the room who says that, oh, what y'all doing? He's not here because, again, there's this way of thinking that niggas try to implement rules of the street when it's out of convenience, right? You don't want to have a hard conversation about Jim Jones because he's not here, but it's in the news. It's like it's out there, right? You just want to try to say, oh, niggas got to be in the room. Don't talk about niggas if they not around. But again, it's in the blogs. There's wiretap out. No, it just like he said, it's in the news. I said that Wack knows what he's doing because Wack did put out something today where he just says, I tried to stop it and No, what you tried to do is just seem as though you weren't saying nothing, but you were saying something. That's what you were doing, Mr. Whack 100. I'm not mad at you, but I understand that you know you don't have to say nothing. That if you put a battery in that little rainbow head ass, dumbass, and I'm not gonna say he's dumb because he's Highlander. He's outlasting the whole entire game. Okay, Jim Jones is probably going to get arrested. I think I seen something. Yeah. So there's something going on with him too. He's outlasted everyone, so I can never call him dumb, right? But at the same time, you knew once that kid got started, you ain't got to say nothing. You can just sit back and be like, "That's that man. You know, that's that man. Address that man. Address that man." But you know that man got this platform. Got this space to speak because you kind of in here kind of co-signing that he's all right. Oh my gosh, this shit is crazy.
That's a fact.
Put it up right now, Jim. Put it up right now, Jim Jones with Melly Matrix on the phone saying how to kill 6ix9ine security. Pull it up right now.
Hey, yo, Six, tell me about Desiree Perez.
Already know about Desiree Perez. Like I said,
I totally disagree with your Desiree Perez.
Yo, listen to me.
She worked at fucking Rock Nation. What the f*** you got to do with this?
She's straight fed, bro.
Now, let me tell you this. So, you know what's so crazy, Wack? You can't say that. Because now somebody say, yo, 6ix9ine with Universal and Lucian Granger, his son. What he got to do with the street? You can't say that.
Listen. Who was she? Was she Gisela Blanco?
She was trying to be. She was. Yo, pull up the article. Yo, Wack. You trying to shy away from it?
No, I'm not. I'm saying was she just a mule that a mother selected?
She's been told.
So all the Mexican.
It don't matter. You go out here and say your broke ass auntie, and she want to make some money, and you pack her ass full of some dope.
You can't just pick up.
She gonna do it.
Yo, Wack.
I also want to point out something about when you talk when women are being policed about how they speak and to each other, and nobody wants to talk like a man, but Tekashi just yells. He yells, and that's just his speaking voice, and nobody says anything about that. Nobody acts like they so fucking hurt. And I just wanted to just bring that to people's attention because I be in Clubhouse, and when I get passionate about stuff like everybody fucking knows, it seems as though people try to paint this picture. Oh, she just, talk a little bit more calm and all this other shit. No. When these niggas are up here talking to you guys reckless and calling you all types of whatevers, you don't feel like you don't feel like I don't want to talk to someone and be talked like that. No, you bitches get back on there on a daily basis to be called bitches by niggas and be disrespected, and then you want to try to police me? Fuck you and kiss my ass. For real. To be completely honest, that's how I feel about the Clubhouse shit. Like, because the women on there are weird. It's a whole lot of like cliquish shit and trying to play favoritism and all this other stuff. Don't police me. Police these men that's treating and talking to y'all crazy. I've been in so many rooms with so many of these same women who let men talk to them ridiculous. And that's not to say that I feel like I should be talking to them ridiculously. Nor am I talking to them ridiculously, because I feel like if I say one thing, somebody will try to say that means this. No, what I am saying, because I talk like this, which is I can get really passionate and up and about what I'm talking about, don't police me. Don't police me when this type of energy be in your room like a Tekashi 69 and be going off and nobody says nothing. Nobody thinks something's wrong with them. Nobody's trying to say, oh, they're having a bad day. All that weird shit when people try to discredit you and don't want you to have a voice. So they'll try to make it seem as though something's wrong. And I just think it's bullshit. So that's why, for me, kiss my ass. I'm going to be me. All right. So long story short is the world is starting to see that there's something questionable going on with Jim Jones because, there was this case that came up in Virginia about guns, and he is, free. Like, we don't hear about anything anymore. And so I want to shout out It's AGTV, fair use, copyright. Please let me know if you have a problem with me using your videos. I won't anymore. Not a problem, but shout you out. Thank you so much for posting this. What else? I want to show you Whack 100's response, because now he's responded to Jim Jones, who called the big homie in jail. That's my thing. Don't do big boy and big girl shit and have to call somebody. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do big girl shit and big boy shit and then have to call somebody.
You can't just pick up.
Ooh. And then have to call somebody to bail you out. If your ass got you in it, your mouth better be able to back that shit up. And I'm that way. Don't approach me for somebody because I'm just gonna look at you like, what that got to do with you? Like I'm not entertaining a conversation. None of that. You get nothing. I don't know you. You're a stranger. Straight like that. And so for me, when you hear Jim Jones having to call the next nigga to say some shit to Whack 100, that's weird to me. You were just on Versus stage talking about I'm a gang member, I'm a gangster, and we just trying to figure out. So this is Whack 100, like, because Jim Jones called, I guess, the Melly dude. Called the Melly dude or whatever, the Mel Johnson, the big homie dude in the gang, in jail, and it was a whole bunch of Whack 100. When I get out, I'm gonna see him and niggas of this and this and that. You giving a nigga a platform that's a snitch out in these streets. You breaking code, blah 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 blah, a whole bunch of that. I mean, I'm just saying that's the summary of it. It was a whole bunch of beat my chest type of stuff. Like, yeah, all right, I'll see you, nigga. You whack for that and all types of shit. I mean, the nigga does call himself Whack 100. That's an interesting name. All right, so we're going to play what he has to say, because now he's addressing Jim Jones. He didn't address them in the room because it wasn't his story to tell. It wasn't nothing that, you know what I mean? It wasn't his shit. It wasn't his, it wasn't a situation that he was in, and nobody he knew got snitched on. You get what I'm saying? So for him, he can sit in the room and let Tekashi do his 1-2. Totally agree with, don't gotta put himself in it, because Tekashi gonna do enough talking. That's what I felt happened. Because Jim Jones decided to address Whack 100 and not the man calling you out, because that's my thing. Like, address the man calling you out. What are you talking about, Jim? Like, when are we gonna hear you finally speak about this? Like, you just think it's gonna go away? Okay.
Hey, yo, Jim Jones, listen. I don't know what your issue with me is, bro. The kid the one called you a snitch, right? Facts is facts, my nigga. I protected you in the interview. I can't stop a nigga on Clubhouse from saying what he gonna say. But that shit on the internet, homie, and any real street nigga know what conspiracy look like. And you gave an order, and that order was carried out. You know what I'm saying? You got gun cases in Virginia, don't nobody know where they went. The fact that you had to have a nigga from jail call, right? And you on the street, you pussy, my nigga. Thought we was better than that. But since you want to direct it to me and not talk about what that man said and what's on the internet, right? What you talking on the wiretap lets me know that you are running from something. Because not one time, Jimmy, right, have you addressed what that man said about you. Don't try to redirect it to Whack name, my nigga. Let's keep it where it's at. 6ix9ine, who admits to cooperating, said you gave an order on the wiretap to commit a violent act that was carried out. Now, any real street nigga know that's conspiracy. Every nigga from your neighborhood that was tied to this kid is incarcerated but you. I'm gonna call a spade, my nigga, since you want to make it about me. Now I gotta speak, my nigga. Yo, Jim, the world, the streets, you owe an explanation. And niggas need to see that paperwork from that gun case you caught, you know what I'm saying, that other state. Because something, it really ain't adding up, my nigga. And let's not forget, Jimmy, this table from the West Coast called you and Mel Murder and spoke about our disgust with what y'all was doing with 6ix9ine at that time. You guys went to tell us it was a money play. Y'all was accepting him. It was something y'all had control of. It was y'all business. Could we respectfully stay out of it? So Don moves from the West Coast, my nigga. We tried to stop it before it broke. So you tell Mel who calling me out my name, nah. I think the bitch is a nigga like him who's supposed to be a G nigga, but got controlled by the bag. And you, Jimmy, you should have let that man do his time, because me and you on the street, we got each other's numbers. We didn't pull up on each other, and we still could pull up on each other today, my nigga. You call me for all kind of shit when you get to Cali, give me your location and all that. So I'm a little confused, my nigga, on why you want to disturb a man that's doing his time and call yourself, you can't hide behind him, homie. He in prison. You was just on the phone with the homie yesterday. And because he didn't tell you what you wanted to hear, you ain't answered his calls. So Jimmy, don't redirect the motherfucking shit to whack. 6ix9ine went on Clubhouse and called you out on something. That's definitely, you type in Jim Jones wiretap, right? You are issuing an order to commit violence, my nigga. That's conspiracy. Fuck how you look at it. You need to answer for that, homie. And whatever this gun case niggas don't know you had, you need to answer for that too, my nigga. Focus on that. The slick shit ain't gonna work with me, my nigga. I didn't text you 3-4 times, called you 3-4 times, my nigga. But I guess you over there feeling a little nervous. You paying old Mel. I know you paying Mel. I know you giving him a bag. That's cool. I mean, you know, you a rapper, my nigga. I get it. You ain't these other niggas that I know from your neighborhood. You a rapper. But address that, homie. Keep the attention on where it should be. 6ix9ine said it, not whack, my nigga. The Jedi mind tricks ain't gonna work. Everybody say, Jimmy, we want to know why, how you ducked the conspiracy case, and where the gun case went. I'm going to leave it like that. And when I see you, I see you. And whenever you want to call me and send the pin drop like you done before, Jimmy, if it's that serious, please do, my nigga. I will oblige you.
As y'all can see, there's a lot going on. Oh shit, look at Charlamagne Lester Charge ass nigga sitting there looking at all his. See, that's the real Charlamagne. When y'all see the real Charlamagne, that's the real Charlamagne. Y'all see that face right there? That is the real Charlamagne. That's him right there. So yeah, that's what that nigga look like. Yeah, inside and out. Anyway, so he so as you can hear, you heard Whack 100 finally address Jim Jones, because at this point Jim Jones has called him out. So now he wants to come out and say what he wants to say, which is like, you a snitch ass nigga. Really, all of this has been, not all of this has been about, but Whack has felt this way, but he just did not get involved. He also revealed how, you know, they called and, you know, they're gang members. So they, you know, I guess they're part of the Bloods. I think he's a Blood. I'm really not sure which one that he's in. But Whack says they called Jim Jones and spoke to him and the other dude, probably old Mel, who's the head of the gang, and told him like, yo, this is not going to end good. Because if you remember, Tekashi was wild and reckless. He was getting on camera, sending out threads. Like, he was like putting hits out on people. Like, he literally like was trying to, I don't know, I guess he was trying to give gang life a brand it. Like, it seemed like he was trying to mainstream it, y'all. It seemed the way he was just like online talking shit, and then shit usually did happen in the street. So yeah, I mean, it was really wild. So I think from the outside looking in, everyone was like, yo, this kid is not moving like you're supposed to move if you're supposed to be doing illegal shit, which I feels like today's criminal is very public and wants to go viral for their shit, but then they just, like, you want to go viral for committing crimes but end up in prison. It just does not make sense. Like, nobody is going to, like, going viral for committing crimes and thinking that you're going to be able to get away with it is new. Like, I still have a hard time when I sit back and I think about what's his name? Arab. Is it Arab something? Him snitching on himself and telling on himself. Like, there's been so many people, like, there's been so many, like, not even, like, real mainstream celebrities that have, like, got caught because they put their crimes in their music. And it just makes no sense. Or people will go do shit and they film it themselves. Like, you're live streaming, you pulling up on people. Like, it's crazy, y'all. It's crazy out here in these streets, to be completely honest with you. Anyway, so yeah, it's a lot going on. I think the conclusion, and even myself, I'm going to go to my Twitter and I have some tweets that I truly feel. Now, granted, last night I was just, just watching YouTube and watching and catching up on this. And it was just people, I my thoughts on it is, okay, so this is my synopsis on everything. I believe that Jim Jones has been snitching, and I do believe that there is some, allegedly, when you look at how these charges go away, it's just weird that him and Tekashi are the only two left of this gang. There's been wiretaps that would implement that Jim Jones being part of it, especially the way he was talking on that phone, as if though, he's in the power circle when it comes to that gang. He told the dude Omel that, that Tekashi 69 had to be violated. He told him how to do it. He gave him instructions on how to target the security people because they're not going to want to work with him, which means that Tekashi would have to stay in the house and, would shut his mouth, basically, is what he thought was going to happen. So basically, you see two people planning an execution, basically, and how to get rid of somebody. Which I found funny. Like, Jim Jones knows how to get away with murder, but he doesn't know how to pay his mortgage. Anyway, so I do believe that Tekashi kind of got, I think Tekashi's a victim in all this, to be completely honest. I think the United States government truly just created some distrust between both Tekashi and Shawty and them. So where Tekashi thought that he was being robbed and kidnapped because his gang was after him, right? It now seems like it was like one rogue person, but then I think that at the same time after that happened, Tekashi was made aware of this phone call, and so he decided to snitch. That's just what I think. I think that, they just made everybody snitch on each other and tell on each other. And I think that Jim Jones was willing to do it because if it looks like Tekashi's snitching, then it doesn't make him look like a snitch, right? Because now we're left with wondering, how are you able to get away with setting that up, sir? Or being a part of the mastermind behind it, basically. That's a clear sign of snitching. That's what I think. It has to be like, what are the odds in the world that Chrissy ended up with two snitches? Like, whoa, that is crazy. That is crazy. Harlem is going out bad this week. You lost Versus. Oh boy is a rat. This is like the third rat, right? You got Nikki. You got the dude from Paid in Living. That's a lot. That's big, y'all. That is big. That is big. So stay out of Harlem. I always looked at Harlem as that was the borough that I would live in if I was in New York. Like, cause of course the Harlem Renaissance and all the other stuff. But I always thought Harlem would be my borough. But right now they are going out bad. Only thing saving them is my girl Bonnie Bella, because she can actually rap. I'm like, Jim Jones and them should have called her. But okay, let me get back. I just wanted to break that down. I wanted to talk a little about that because the ideology about snitching, right? We have these men who make this music and they put this out about snitch culture, and our young kids are so influenced by it and they think it's real, right? And it takes, Troy Ave to say that the streets is a myth. And to see people like my son or even Whack 100 try to make excuses for the ideology of what's always being what has always been said about what snitching is and how you handle snitching. Like, so to see them be not clear and not be who they rap about or be about the persona they try to put out, it's telling. And I hope more and more people or parents are looking at this and saying to their kids, you should immediately be saying to your kids, you see how they justify him snitching? You hear what I'm saying? So that your kids know that nobody got your back like that. Don't get involved with that shit and think people gonna hold you down. You see how he's telling how he didn't hold his friends down? How he got on and didn't do right by his people? And you gotta break down the myths and the what people think street life is and how people it's sort of like gang culture is sort of like a brotherhood, sort of like, oh, my man's got me. I got this ultimate brotherhood, this ultimate family, right? And so you just got to shred that, take that veil off of that for these kids so they can see, no, that's not what it is. And you need to look at these examples so that you do know that, right? You do need to look at paid and live in, right? You do need to look at paid and live in, because at the end of the day, the goal is to live, to be the one living. The goal is to survive. And when you look at paid and living, that nigga survived. Okay? If you look at paid and living, that nigga survived. If you look at Nikki Barnes, that nigga survived. You get what I'm saying? Like, you just have to look at those things. Like, that nigga survived. If you look at, and right now, Jim Jones is surviving. So, I'm sorry, you look at Tekashi 69, right? The one who's not even a gangster, surviving, right? The one who did what was best for him. So, always remember, that's literally street life. Always, niggas will talk a good game, a whole bunch of ideology, but at the end of the day, will always do what's best for them. Never lose sight on that. Okay, my bougie bears, I am out. So you know how we do. Keep it black as fuck. Keep it posh as fuck. And y'all be back. And I'm out. Bye.